I put this on thinking I knew exactly what kind of night it was going to be. You pick a movie you've seen before, something familiar, something you think you already understand. You're not bracing yourself for anything, you're just revisiting. That's how From Dusk Till Dawn gets you, because for the first stretch, it plays like a movie you've already agreed to. Two criminals on the run, bad choices, worse people, a kind of grimy, sunburned crime story that feels mean on purpose. And then, it pulls the floor out from under you. Not slowly, not politely, it just does it. And that's what I want to talk about. Not the plot, not the shocks, not the creepy fetishes, but why this movie still works almost 30 years later. When From Dusk Till Dawn starts, it feels grounded. Ugly, but grounded. The Gecko brothers aren't charming criminals. They're not lovable rogues. They're dangerous, especially Richie. Seth is controlled, calculating, almost professional in the way he commits crimes. Richie is something else entirely. He's volatile, cruel. You don't trust him for a second, and you're not supposed to. The movie doesn't rush this. It lets you sit in it. The violence isn't stylized, it's uncomfortable, sudden, mean. This is a movie that wants you uneasy before it ever wants you entertained. And then the family shows up. A widowed pastor, Jacob Fuller, dragging his kids through the desert in an RV that feels like it's barely holding together, not just mechanically, but emotionally. He's lost his wife, he's lost his confidence, and you can tell he's lost something bigger than that too. What's interesting is that faith is already part of the movie long before anything supernatural happens. It's not flashy, it's not heroic, it's exhausted faith, doubting faith, faith that's been hit hard and hasn't bounced back yet. And then these two worlds collide. Criminals who don't believe in anything except survival, and a family whose belief has been shaken but not erased. At this point, the movie still feels like a crime thriller. A tense one, sure, but familiar, because the movie wants you settled. It wants you comfortable. It wants you thinking you're watching one thing. And then they reach the bar. This is where everything breaks. The shift in this movie isn't subtle. It's not eased in. It's not foreshadowed in a way that prepares you emotionally. One second you're watching a gritty crime movie, the next second you're watching a full-on horror film that doesn't care if you're ready. Most movies would collapse under that kind of move. Genre switches usually feel desperate, gimmicky, or like the filmmakers ran out of ideas. This one doesn't, and the reason it doesn't is simple. It commits. Once the switch happens, the movie doesn't apologize. It doesn't explain. It doesn't slow down to make sure you're okay. It says, this is where we're going now. Keep up. That confidence matters. A lot of movies flirt with chaos. This one jumps in headfirst, and you can feel that it comes from the people behind it. You've got Robert Rodriguez directing and Quentin Tarantino writing, two filmmakers who, at that point, weren't interested in playing it safe. They weren't trying to make something polite. They were making something bold, messy, and loud because they wanted to. And that attitude bleeds into every frame. The violence ramps up. The jokes get cruder. The movie almost dares you to walk away. But here's the thing that surprised me rewatching it. There's still a line the movie won't cross. Faith is never mocked. In a movie packed with sinners, monsters, and absolute moral chaos, God is treated seriously. Not as a punchline, not as something to roll your eyes at. When the vampires show up, it's not clever tricks or raw strength that turn the tide. It's belief. It's the cross. It's holy water. It's the acknowledgement that there are things older and stronger than human violence. Jacob Fuller doesn't suddenly become a superhero. He doesn't get a triumphant arc. His faith doesn't make him untouchable, but it matters. And that's rare, especially in a movie this aggressive. A lot of modern films either strip faith out completely or turn it into something embarrassing. This one doesn't. It treats belief like a weapon that only works if you actually believe. That's a quiet choice in a very loud movie, and it sticks. The characters who survive aren't the pure ones. They're not the nicest. They're the ones who recognize what they're up against and respond accordingly. Seth survives not because he's good, but because he adapts. Kate survives because she learns fast and doesn't pretend she's in control. Richie doesn't make it because he never changes. He never repents. He never even slows down. He's already a monster before the vampires show up. The movie doesn't spell this out. It doesn't need to. It trusts you to see it. That trust is another reason this movie holds up. It doesn't over-explain itself. It doesn't stop to make sure you're aligned emotionally. It just moves forward and lets the chips fall where they may. And that's something we don't get much anymore. A lot of modern movies are terrified of confusing people. They explain every motivation. They underline every theme. They circle back just in case you missed it the first time. From Dusk Till Dawn doesn't do that. It assumes you're paying attention. It assumes you can handle a shift in tone. It assumes you don't need your hand held. That confidence is part of why it's become a cult film. It wasn't universally loved when it came out. Some people hated the switch. Some people thought it went too far. But time has been kind to it, because risk ages better than safety. You can feel this movie's influence in later films that blend crime, horror, and moral decay. And watching it now, almost 30 years later, it still plays. Not because it's tasteful, not because it's careful, but because it knows exactly what it is. This isn't a movie for everyone. It never was. There's graphic violence, there's nudity, there are gross jokes, and it doesn't apologize for any of it. If you're looking for something subtle or restrained, this isn't it. But if you appreciate movies that take real swings, that commit fully to their madness, and that still manage to sneak in something meaningful under all the noise, this one earns its place. If you've seen it before, this is a great excuse to revisit it. And if you haven't, just know what you're walking into. This movie won't ease you in. It'll grab you by the collar and drag you across genres whether you're ready or not. And somehow, that's exactly why it still works. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more reviews. Until next time, keep your expectations loose, your faith steady, and always, stay rated.